Once we hit the out-of-body sort of module for tonight. So I think it's a really good idea to keep a journal, keep a dedicated journal for dreaming, and see where that takes you. Okay. Next, spontaneously awaken in the night, like Jaspreet pointed out. At any point throughout the night that you spontaneously awake, do the same routine. Stay completely still, recall any sort of dream imagery, and then roll out of position, grab your notepad, write that stuff down, then go back to sleep. Another thing I like to recommend is that you get plenty of sleep. The more sleep you get, the longer your dream cycles become. Once you hit the 7.5-hour mark of sleep, your dream cycles are now 45 minutes to an hour long. At that point, you can easily have 10 dreams within that one dream cycle, and that's a lot of stuff that you can record if you're kind of actively doing this stuff on a regular basis. Now, also, for those of you who find it difficult to get to sleep, I want to make a really good sort of observation for you. You can all just put your notepads just down for a second and just really pay attention to this, because this is very important for the out-of-body stuff as well. For any insomniacs, for people who find it difficult to sleep, who you're tossing and turning all night, if you notice tonight when you get into bed, I want you to do a little experiment. Get into bed, lie on your back, and lie just completely still, hands down next to your side, and your legs uncrossed. So legs uncrossed, hands down to side. And I want you to just wait for this subtle, obnoxious little feeling that is suddenly going to get you to do this. Cross a leg, cross an arm, or roll into a new position. It's obnoxious, and you will do it. And the moment you do it, you reset this little mechanism, which for the physical body was basically sending a signal to the brain to say, hey, are you asleep up there? If you are, I'm going to shut down. But as soon as you move, you reset the whole process. And this is why a lot of people toss and turn throughout the night. When you're very aware of that signal, especially as an insomniac, and you really want to move, it really can be obnoxious. But trust me, stay still. It might take you a minute, 2 minutes to get through the threshold, but when you do, it'll all sort of equal itself out, and you'll hopefully be in a better position to be able to get to sleep. I know there are deeper issues than that, but for those who maybe are light insomniacs, that's an excellent method for getting to sleep. Just be very aware of that little signal that the body is trying to send to the brain. Next, I want you to be consistent with your sleep habits. I want it to actually become a habit to where you're going to bed at the same time and you're waking up at the same time. If you're on sort of swing shifts, then this is just something that you're going to have to come to terms with, and you're going to have to incorporate this best you can into your lifestyle. Avoid alcohol near bedtime. Alcohol reduces the frequency and the density of sleep, of REM sleep, and REM sleep is the part of sleep that we're really going to be focused on here. Share and discuss your dreams with other people. This is a wonderful sort of idea, and this builds into a level of accountability into your practices. Maybe you say to a friend, someone, a partner you're living with, or a friend, a colleague at work, say to him, if I don't share a dream with you at least once a week, can you remind me that I'm not sharing my dreams with you? And this will help build a level of accountability into this, so you can always have that reminder from a third sort of party. Say, hey, are you still journaling? What are you up to? So have somebody that can help you keep that accountability. Now, this is one of the most powerful techniques I can give you for recalling dreams on a daily basis. Set the intention to remember your dreams before going to sleep. Now, how do you do this? As you drift off to sleep, I want you to repeat one thing to yourself again and again and again. I want you to repeat, I will remember my dreams. I will remember my dreams. Make it your last conscious thought. Your absolute last conscious thought. If you have anything from the daytime kind of seep in, like paying a bill, taking the dog to the vet, then instead of getting frustrated, realize in yourself that you stop focusing, even for a nanosecond, on your ideal. And your ideal, your focus is, that one little mantra. So, I will remember my dreams again and again and again. If you want to write it out on a notepad 50 times before going to sleep, great. Then when you're lying down in the bed, you then, in your own mind, tonight I will remember my dreams. And that is an excellent method for being able to recall dreams on a regular basis. Now, if there's only, after the 2 weeks, I want you to stop doing, if you're going to do it, it's not a mandatory thing, but if you're going to do it with the setting the alarms, at the end of 2 weeks, knock that on the head, stop doing that. And just do the two things. Keep a journal and setting the intention every single night. You do those two things, and you'll be able to maintain being able to recall dreams every single day without fail in most cases. And again, the journaling is quite significant. More importantly, the journaling than anything else. And when you get back into bed at night, as you're going to sleep, and before you do your little setting the intention, pick up your journal, read through your most recent dreams, and this will help set the intention even deeper. I want to be able to recall even more dreams. I want to be able to write more dreams in my journal. So journal serves many, many purposes. Okay, before we touch on the lucid dreaming techniques, I'd like everybody to stand up. It's a bit warm in here. I'd like everybody to give themselves a really good shakeout. The techniques are what you really came for, so I want you to really be quite conscious of this. Give yourself a good shakeout, maybe give yourself a slap if you need to. Let's do that, beautiful. When you're ready, you can take a seat. Okay, lucid dreaming techniques. First thing we're going to talk about is dream signs. Now, quite simply, a dream sign should be kind of like this neon sort of signal, like a sign in your dream to say, hey, this is unusual, this is different, this is something that typically doesn't happen in the waking reality. So pay attention to it. Can anybody give me one of the most classic dream signs that most all of us have probably experienced at one point or another?
Flying.
Flying. This is top of the list every time is flying. Why are we not waking up when we're there, flying above London or flying above somewhere thinking, hey, this is cool? Why are we not waking up? It's because there's something that's been deactivated, and that's your logical reasoning. It's been completely deactivated during the dream state, and it's about finding ways of actually ramping up that awareness and that sort of ability to actually be, that go beyond that observer state and actually be very conscious within the moment. So switching on logical reasoning is very, very important. Other sort of common dream signs, dead people. Maybe you're there in the dream state enjoying afternoon tea with a deceased loved one, maybe grandma. It's like having scones with granny and yet she's dead. Why are you not aware of the fact that she's dead? Because your logical reasoning has been switched off, and we have to trigger that to get it back on. Other dream signs, celebrities. Meeting and especially sleeping with celebrities. Now, unless you're in PR, maybe I suggest you're not actually sleeping with celebrities, that you're dreaming perhaps. And again, your logical reasoning is switched off, so it's about getting that switch back on. Being naked, I have this a lot. Maybe I'm insecure, I don't know. But well, maybe not, no, it's not a matter of an insecurity. But sometimes we wake up within the dream state, or we're not wake up, but we're aware after the fact. Why was I naked in that crowd of people? Why was I not more conscious about that? Was I so, hey, yes, oh, this is great. Or wearing your pajamas to work or something like that. Another one, traveling. Did you go to sleep in your house here in London and suddenly you're parasailing in the Bahamas? Hello, wake up, literally within the dream. So other common sort of dream signs, teeth falling out. I hate that one. I've had that happen several times, and I wake up in tears and I'm like, checking these teeth. It's horrible. Device failure is a brilliant one. People using mobile phones, and I recently this triggered what went from an unconscious OBE to a fully conscious OBE. I was out of body, and I was using my mobile phone because I was in an environment like this, and I have a lot of teaching things like this when I'm OBE, and I was in what seemed like a dream. And I was like, why are all these people here? I don't remember which meetup this was. I don't remember logging this. My next one's not until next week. Where did this come from? Why am I here? I got on my mobile phone and I started checking the meetup listings, and it would not connect. I was like, what is wrong with this phone? And suddenly I realized it's device failure. I could be out of body, so I did a state test and then realized I was in a lucid dream or out of body. And now there's ways to determine which you're in. And there were a few people, faces that typically will come out to these events, and there was one woman in particular. Nora? No. There's a woman who's come to a few events, and she was there, and she looked extremely confused and out of it completely. And I went up to her and I said, Nora, what's wrong? And I said, do you realize you're out of body with me right now? And she was just really, really sort of massively confused, and then she blinked out. I knew she'd probably woken up in that moment. And the next day I sent her a text message, and I just asked her, if she remembers having a dream with me, and she says yes. She sent back this, text saying yes. I didn't know how I arrived to this place, and you were there, and I was a bit, frightened, and she said I was just all over there, and I said yes, you were. And it's quite amazing. It's a real powerful level of validation when we actually discover friends and family members within the dream state, and especially deceased loved ones. They can enter the dream state and actually sort of trigger sort of responses within us. It's an excellent communication tool for them. Right, okay, so what I'd like you to do for being able to sort of become more aware and ramp up that sort of, being in that conscious awareness, it's very important to be able to start, being proactive within the dream state, to be fully conscious within that moment. And the level of consciousness is very, very integral. And I'd like you to say that one more time, because I'd like to demonstrate to you the level of consciousness you need to have. Okay. A lucid dream state, with you being as conscious as you are right now in this moment. Maybe give yourself a right good slap, just to make sure you're here in physical reality with me. All right? So we're here, yes? We're all here? Yeah. Great. At least you think you are. So I want you to look around the room. I want you to look at the fine details on pictures, on the walls, light fixtures, anything and everything. I want you to look at the people around you. Look into their eyes. Look at the wrinkles in their face, if they have any. Have a good look at the detail, the fine detail. Now, to me, on a scale of consciousness from 0 to 10, this is about an 8. Right now, we're experiencing about an 8. A 9? Ah! That's about a 9. Okay? Your sort of adrenaline levels have just brought your consciousness up even more. Are we ready for a 10? Sit down there. So that's the minimum level of consciousness I'd love for you to achieve within the dream state. Like me, I'd like you to be able to come back into physical reality and actually think to yourself, have I actually woken up? Physical reality should now seem like the dream. It should be that dull compared to these dream states, compared to these out-of-body states. It really should be. This physical level of consciousness is, as vibrant as you might think it is dull in comparison to some of these inner realms. It's absolutely dull, and there's a reason for that, which again we'll discuss probably when we do the after talk tonight. So that's the level that I would like you to achieve, minimum, that level that we had right there. And if something freaks you out, great, you've achieved a 9. Okay, so how are we going to do this? What I'd like you to do is every day, I'd like you to practice repeating one thing. What I'd like you to do is minimum of 30 times every day, I'd like you to say to yourself, am I dreaming or awake right now? This is very, very important to do this. And if you don't ever do it in physical waking life, you are never going to do it in the dream state. So I want you to repeat to yourself at least 30 times throughout the day, and I'll give you another part to this exercise. Am I dreaming or awake right now? I want you to incorporate this into your routine, so your daily routine. And one of the best ways to do that is with your hands. Almost everything we do involves